Is there a simple way to test whether an HS setup really works? And if yes, what does that process looks like and how does it differ from traditional failover testing?
Yeah, great question. So I'll break it up and say that, a lot of the traditional testing has been focused solely on, can we do a failover? Can we hard crash or hard power off a node, and will it recover? Will the backup server take over operations for the applications and databases? And there are other ways to do that validation. There are simpler ways. One, with the SIOS LifeKeeper solution, one of the easiest ways is what we call a switchover. And that's a manual user operation where services are gracefully stopped on your primary system and then in the correct order gracefully restarted on the backup server. The difference is, in a failover scenario, you're going to hard crash a box, and that failover doesn't validate that you're able to successfully stop the application. So it doesn't go through any shutdown procedures. You're just doing crash recovery. A switchover is a much simpler test, and it validates both the shutdown operation, making sure that applications are shut down in the right order, that fencing is in place as the server transitions from its role as a primary to its role as a secondary or backup, and then also that applications and services or databases are started in the right order on the new primary system, and that fencing is now in place. And that's a much less invasive test than hard crashing a node, but it also is a more comprehensive test because it's going to hit the shutdown scenarios as well as the startup scenarios, and then also add into that for many HA solutions on the startup scenario, they're going to validate that the application is running correctly. One other thing to add to that simple test, a lot of issues can be eliminated in just validating against your own runbooks and validating that your configuration is accurate. So many of our customers create runbooks, and a very simple, easy thing to do is to validate that the assumptions and configuration details outlined in your runbook actually match the actual system. And so that can actually be done without crashing a node or taking applications offline. It's an inspection, a visual inspection first, and then of course we can move into these scenarios of testing a switchover or even the hard failover scenario.